Plains biomes are a great place to start your new world. But when it comes to building a starter house here, your choice of building materials is very limited. And that's why we often end up building something boring like this. No offense, villagers. Sorry. But you don't have to be boring. You can do so much better. Even with the limited resources from this biome, you can build a really good base here in early game. Let me show you how. I'm Dippy and I've given myself the challenge to build a beautiful starter home in every Minecraft biome. But I can only use blocks that you can find in this biome or that are easy to get and common in early game. So today I will specifically look at the Plains biome. First we will have a good look around to see what resources we can find. And then we will get our crafting bench out and see what other blocks we can make with what we've got. I will build a beautiful house for you with these resources. I will also explain to you how you can build something similar, or you can go on Planet Minecraft and simply download the schematic. So let's talk about the Plains biome. This biome is a great choice to start in Minecraft, especially for beginners. There is plenty of grass here, so you can get seeds easily for your wheat fields. There are flowers and there are lots of passive mobs like cows and pigs and sheep, so you will never go hungry. And the terrain is really flat. You can see what's coming from a mile off and it's easy to build on. You don't have to do tons of terraforming. It's easy to find villages here, and villages are so useful, and you have horses and donkeys. And usually rivers flow through plains biomes, so you also get the resources from that terrain. But there are also some downsides. There are not many trees and your resources are very limited. There is no exposed stone or ores, so you will definitely have to go mining for some stuff. I think it's time for a wander. Let's go and collect some resources. Hey, Mr. Sheep, give me your wool. And you too, buddy, that's white wool. And light grey wool, excellent. And a black sheep. Hey, let's pick some flowers. They're good for making dyes and for decoration. Sadly, the only tree that I can find is an oak tree, but oak is good wood. There's a river, and that means we can get a little bit of sand. And gravel. And clay. Clay is so versatile. And sugarcane. I wish you could build something from chickens. There are tons of chickens here. I'm gonna nick some of these hay bales. Look, I found some exposed stone. That's good. And some granite. Okay, that's okay. Pumpkins. Pumpkins are cool, and not just for jack-o'-lanterns. I used a ton of pumpkins in my forest build. Time to poke our nose into some holes and get some common ores. So there's coal, a bit of easy copper. Maybe we can go into this cave and even do some mining. I'm not going to take the dripstone because that's not really common, but the diorite, that is something that you can find quite frequently. Hello guys, how are you? Oh, do you mind if I take some of this iron? Thank you. Andesite. And if you're brave, you can even go a little bit deeper and see what you find down there. Deep slate is quite easy to find. And tough. I can see some redstone over there. Oh, and some glow lichen, that's useful. Gold is quite easy to find too. And if you're lucky, you come across some lovely blue lapis, which makes lovely dye. And that's pretty much it. So let's go and find a nice flat place where we can build our house. How about right here? But before we start building, let's get ourselves some better building materials, because let's face it, the stuff that we had was really quite boring. There wasn't a lot. Mostly greyish blocks and some oak, and that's very limiting. But with a bit of clever crafting, we can do so much better. Let's start by crafting all those flowers into lovely dye. And we can get even more colours by mixing. Now let me quickly chuck some stuff into the composter to get some bone meal. We can turn that into white dye and get even more colours. Just look how many different colours we've got, and now we can turn all that lovely wool into coloured wool and all sorts of other coloured things. Like carpets and beds and banners. And now our world is already so much more colourful, and we've got so many more building options. We've also got these blocks, and then of course we've got oak. So you can make all the oak stuff like planks and stairs and doors, but you can also make all sorts of wooden stuff. And all the types of stones that we collected have different types of variations like bricks and stairs and walls and polished varieties. So, again, you have a lot more options than you think. And don't forget to craft all the ores that we've collected. There were lots of options. Copper is super versatile, especially if you let it age, but it's quite rare in early game, so we don't want to use too much of it. You can even craft lapis and coal into blocks. Look how much more color we've got now, and we haven't even talked about iron. There are so many cool things that you can make with a little bit of iron and a couple of simple ingredients. And we also found some sand, which we can turn into sandstone, and we can even smelt it into glass and use the dyes to make colored glass. So after this crafting session, we have so many more options. It's already looking much more colorful, but I've still got an ace up my sleeve. Let me show you. This here is clay. It's in every river, and it is probably one of the most versatile blocks in all of Minecraft. It's magic. It doesn't look like much, but let me show you what you can do with clay. If you use a shovel on clay, it breaks into clay balls. And you can bake those in the oven, and that gives you bricks. And from bricks you can craft brick blocks and flower pots and the big flower pots. Or you can combine your clay balls back into clay blocks, and then you can stick them in the oven and make terracotta. And then you can grab your dyes and make colored terracotta in all the colors that we have. I love building with colored terracotta. It's got a subtle muted color. It's absolutely beautiful. But that's not the end of it. You can also stick your colored terracotta back in the oven and turn it into glazed terracotta. This block is a little bit tricky to build with because it's directional, but it's actually quite cool for carpets and stuff like that. And now look at all the colorful blocks that we've got. I think we can build something really pretty with this. And here it is, your Plains Biome house. I'll give you a tour around and then I'll tell you how to build this yourself. Enjoy! I think this colorful house fits perfectly into this landscape. In the next part of the video, I'll show you how you can build something similar. You've probably noticed that this house is entirely circular, so start with a big circle, and it's entirely up to you how big you make this circle. Here are 2 circle guides for odd and even circles. You can stop the video and take a screenshot. This is not a block by block tutorial. I will just show you how to build all the elements, and then you can vary it up in any way you want. The outer edge of the circle is 1 block wider than your walls. I've made it from colored terracotta in all sorts of different colors that I have mixed up, and then I've placed trapdoors around the outside to bring it all together. The walls are made from sandstone, sand and smooth sandstone, and I've just mixed them up a bit to give it more texture. As you can see, I've made them 7 blocks high, but you can make them lower or higher. It depends on what you want. Now let's go in and look at the floor. The floor is made from stripped oak. It looks really nice, doesn't it? And I added a little carpet from pink glazed terracotta. Stripped wood is directional, so if you want to get those nice stripes, make sure you always place it in the same direction. Now that we've built the floor and the walls, let's look at the roof. We'll worry about all the details later. So this pointy roof is made up entirely out of jumbled up different colors of colored terracotta. And you don't have to be too careful. The more you mix it up, the better it looks actually. To get the pointy shape, you just build lots of circles and they always get a little bit smaller as you go up, like this. If you finish it up with a wall, a fence post and a lightning rod, you get a really pointy roof. And then trim your roof on all 4 sides in the middle with a combination of trapdoors and stairs and slabs at the very bottom. Like this. I'm using the oak all over the house to tie all the elements together. And then put an apron of trapdoors all the way around the edge. If you want to go really fancy, you can vary the height of the trapdoors. And of course, no cozy cottage is complete without a chimney. Simply mix up a variety of stone blocks to make it look more worn, put a campfire on top, some trapdoors, and one of those big pots. They look amazing. They look like a proper chimney pot. I love it. And now that you've built the basic shape of your house, it's time to look at some details. Here on the edges, I've added some oak fence posts to give it a bit more of a solid look. And up there, I've added some gates. It looks like the roof is supported now. You can also add some other decorations like these lanterns on fence posts or some flower pots. And then you need to decide where your doors and windows are going to be. I like to build a little porch or awning over the front door because it makes it look more 3D. This is just a few slabs and a stair on fence posts, and on top I've put pink carpets and some banners on the side to frame it all and make it look a little bit more colorful. And of course I've added these lovely window curtains and a front door, which is a banner, and I'll show you later how to make that. Now let's move round to the side and look at this classic window design. It's really simple. It's just a block of dirt behind a trapdoor framed by some oak trapdoors. You can plant a flower on the dirt and it looks like a window box. I've just put glass panes in the windows and the shutters are made from banners. It looks a bit boring if a house is too symmetrical, so I've made this shed with workstations in it. It's really simple. The roof is just made from extinguished campfires, and round the edges I've placed some of those hanging signs with just a few lines on it. It looks lovely and rustic, doesn't it? Now let's have a quick look inside. I've kept everything fairly simple, and I've made this second floor gallery that's open in the middle, so you've still got that lofty feel to it and you can get up there with that ladder. There's just trapdoors around the edges, a bit of storage, a place to sleep. I've kept everything fairly simple, but it still looks nice and cozy, doesn't it? You've even got a little kitchen and a sitting area where you can sit with all your friends. Everything you need in a little starter house. So now that you have some idea about how to build your own version of this house, let's talk about the front door and the shutters. I wanted a splash of color in this house, but we don't have the pink wood in this biome. So I made my own fake doors and shutters with banners like this, and I'm going to show you how I made them. And the nice thing is, if you're not a fan of pink, you can do this in any color you like. Because remember, we had plenty of flowers, and that means plenty of different dyes. For the front door design, start with a banner in a color that you like, and then take some white dye and dye the top half white. Then take a dye in the same color as the banner and make this cross here. Then take some more of the same dye and just make a frame around the whole lot. And hey presto, you've got yourself a door. Now just plonk your door right on your doorstep and make sure you put a trapdoor at the top of that opening so no mobs can wander in. And the shutters are just as easy. Take your colored banner and put some white stripes all over it. And then quickly take some of your colored dye and put another frame around it. And there you go, a lovely shutter. I love making pretend stuff from banners. It's really cool and super easy. Now we're done, I've gone back to the boring village to see if the villagers like my house better than their houses. And here they are. They haven't just come and had a look. They've actually made themselves at home. They've taken jobs and everything. They've even brought their children. I think these guys are not going home anytime soon. What are you doing up there? Anyway, if you like this house and you want a quick way to get it into your world, you can also go on my Planet Minecraft page where you can find a schematic for this house, and it's completely free. If you like this video, leave me a little like and check out my other biome builds. Have a hippy dippy day. Bye bye.